And welcome to Finance Fridays. I'm your host, Don Daniel. I am the founder and creator of the P.I.L.L method. I want to welcome you here, and we've got some exciting news for you today. So let me go ahead and make sure that we welcome you properly. Again, this is episode number 4 of Finance Fridays, and we've got some incredible information for you. But first of all, we want you to know that with the P.I.L.L method, we are the cure for your common debt, and we are the creator of phenomenal wealth for you. So listen, we want to make sure that you are getting the best financial information possible. So with that said, let us go ahead and start with putting some things on the screen. So let me do this for you and put this up. There we go. All right. And if you are in the Huntsville area at this time next month, around the 12th, we are having our ribbon cutting right here at the offices of Spinrin. That's 103 Spinrin Drive, Madison, Alabama. We are going to have an exciting time. Not only are we going to have our ribbon cutting, our official office opening, but we are going to also have a book signing. So you want to get your book early. You can go to Amazon and pick it up for $14.99 on Amazon, or you can get them at the door for $20. So we want to encourage you to go ahead and get the discounted book right there on Amazon for $14.99 while that lasts. That price is not going to stay there always. So anyway, so if you, oh, by the way, if you're just coming on, make sure you click share so other people can get this information. That's going to be good for you. So I got a list of things here so I don't forget anything. So we wanted to talk about the ribbon cutting, which we did. You want to click share so other people can see. Also, you're able to click a button so that anytime we go live, you will get a notice. So sometimes we come on with some promotional ideas and some special information from time to time, maybe a question somebody asks and they don't want to wait to our regular show on Fridays, and I'll come on and give you the benefit of the answer to that question. So we're going to have a lot of good content starting today. So let's see here. Once this is all done for today, this weekend, I will get it uploaded to YouTube. So you can watch it again and again on our Pill Method page, Pill Method Facebook page, or you can catch it on YouTube on our Pill Method channel, right in the area where we keep all the episodes of Finance Fridays. So we've already got 3 on board, and I hope that you're liking them. And then go ahead and make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel, and not only subscribe to the YouTube channel, but like the Facebook page as well. So we want to make sure that we're able to always deliver you the best content. So we're also going to put on the screen here. Let's put this up. And here we go. We're going to do a new share. There we are. All right, there's the Pill Method book. Listen, we are already getting calls from around the country of people who are reading the book, and they want to know how to get started saving money on their interest, cutting interest costs by 75%, wanting to know how they can get a hold of the opportunity cost calculator that makes sure that you pay the least amount of interest that's mathematically possible. And with that being said, you can also get out of debt in an average of 7 to 9 years. Again, some people will get out of debt a little faster, some will take a little longer, but that's 7 to 9 years is about the average. And how do we do that? We focus on interest savings, not the principal amount owed or the interest rate, but the Pill Method focuses on the interest cost, making sure that you pay as little interest as possible, moving money in the right month, on the right day of the month, to the right loan, and maximizing your interest savings. So we're having great success there. People are beginning to call in already and wanting to know how to get started. And we're going to show you our contact information a little bit later. But you also want to make sure that you stop by the Pill Method, our website, and just Google it. Google the Pill Method. You'll be able to find our website very easily. It is thepillmethod.com, thepillmethod.com. Go there, and we have videos there. We have very good content there. And you'll also find a link there so that you can not only get our book, but we have a free gift for right now for anyone who purchases the book. Follow the instructions on the website, and you will be able to download a free gift. And I'm not going to tell you what it is. You're going to have to go and find out for yourself. All right? So let's go ahead and jump right in to our show this week, Finance Fridays. And I promised you last week that we're going to go ahead and find out how is it that the bank can charge so much interest, turning like a 3% loan into a 51% loan, where you pay back 51% of what you borrowed. So we're going to go over, now you want to make sure that you have your calculators handy. Go ahead and get your calculators out. And some of you have your phones, so you'll be able to use the calculator on your phone just to see how banking actually charges interest and turns that small amount of interest into a phenomenally large amount of interest that you have to pay them. And the more interest you pay, the longer you stay in debt. And so we also know that if we can cut the interest cost by 50 to 75%, pay as little interest as possible, that's what That's what guides you in getting out of debt. Okay, so that is going to be our main trigger there to get us out of debt, is paying as little interest as possible. All right. So anyway, so there's the go ahead and get the book in paperback, or you can get the book in on Kindle as well. So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and put our PowerPoint on the screen and get started. So let me bring that up. All right, and let's see. Bring that up. Here we go. While that's coming up, um, let's see, what are we going to be? Oh, next week, we're actually going to go over some case studies, some stories of how the pill method is actually working in the lives of individuals. So you want to be here next week. Tell all your family and friends. Make sure that you're sharing this video with family and friends. And if you're just now coming on, make sure that you go ahead and click share. So let me get this all ready for you. And all right, and then we're going to click on new share. There we go. And bring us right back. All right, great. So get ready to, let's see. There we are. Okay, this is where we're going to start. Now, it's very important for you to know that a pill method is a better way to eliminate debt. A better way to eliminate debt. All right. So make sure that you, again, are hitting share. Give people plenty of time to get into our Facebook Live here, Finance Fridays, so that they can get this content. This may be the very first time anybody has ever discussed with you how the banks get to charge so much interest. Now, I'm going to start out by telling you I'm not anti-bank. I'm not. I love the bank. I've got 4 mortgages. But what we want to do is make sure that you enter into these things with as much information as possible. Education is the key here, and doing math is going to be so important to make sure that you're borrowing money or renting your money at wholesale prices and not retail prices. It's not done through negotiation. Negotiation is just a very small part of it. How you pay the least amount of interest is through doing the math, moving the right amount of money on the right, in the right month, on the right day of the month, making sure you move the right amounts to the right loan so that you can maximize the amount of interest that you're saving per dollar applied. All right. So you want to make sure that we get that the best cost benefit ratio available. And I go over some of this in my book. So you might make sure that you get that. So let me see. Let's go. Let's see. What slide do we want to go to? Let's see here. And all right. So let's start right here. If you want more information, you want to text TPM to 36260. That's the letters TPM to 36260. Here's our phone number, 256-886-1867, and our my email and the website address. So There's our contact information. Contact us, and we'll make sure that you're getting all the information you need. And if you'd like to get a free savings report, that means you can know the month, day, and year you can be debt-free. Let me go back here. Okay. You can know the month, day, and year you could be debt-free within a 7 to 9 year window on average. And that's not just the mortgage. That's mortgage, student loans, car loans, credit cards, personal loans. We put it all together and make sure, because that we're paying the least amount of interest possible, you can be out of debt in 7 to 9 years by cutting your interest costs by 75% or more. Now, for the average client, that's about $150,000 to $200,000 in interest you never have to pay. That is a tremendous amount. Then we talk about how you can take that money. You're no longer paying the bank to get out of debt, and take those funds and learn how to invest it for your families. That money invested can turn into, in a short period of time, over the time that you're no longer paying that mortgage, it could turn into 700,000, 800,000, sometimes even $1 million or more in savings for you, while compound interest is working for you instead of interest working against you. It is a phenomenal tool. So you want to make sure you know that. So listen, get a hold of me. Text TPM to 36260 for some information, and we'll go from there. So let's get to where we want to start today. And let's see here. This is where we want to start today. Where is it? There we go. And let's get started. All right, folks, this is important. This year is the 85th year. This is the 85th anniversary of the 30-year mortgage. 85 years we've been paying amortized loans in the same fashion, almost without change. This is costing us hundreds, millions, I mean even billions of dollars in interest that we should be able to eliminate. Here's what's happening. In 1934, this is when the amortization of 15 and 30-year loans was created, using a sliding ratio that changes over the life of the loan. Now, where did this come from? In 1929, that was the crash the financial crash that started the Great Depression. And some years into the Great Depression, the government goes to bankers and say, you've got to start lending again so that we can pull ourselves out of this depression, because people are starving, the economy is hurting, and you guys are just holding on to the money. You've got to loosen the purse strings. And so the bankers were saying, well, what's in it for us? So when everything was settled, then we went to 30-year loans instead of 3 to 5 year loans where you had to have 80 to 90% down. That's how they used to do it prior to 1934. You would pay interest only most of the time, and then the banks would just renew your loan every 5 years or so. That's how it was done. But the banker said, listen, that didn't work too well for us. What have you got for us? So they came up with a way so that you could put 5 to 10% down, have 30-year loans, 15-year loans, and instead of just paying interest only, you pay. Oh, there's a way to pay principal and interest with every payment. That's amortization, and we're going to get into why that is so powerful for banking, and then how we're going to be able to turn that around for you. Okay, so now here's what happened next. So the bank said, well, yeah, 30 year loans, but what if they can't, what if something happens and they can't pay? Excuse me. What happens if people can't pay and they default on these loans? This is also the time the FHA was created. And this is when PMI came into being. This was the forerunner to PMI, private mortgage insurance, where the consumer who was borrowing the money would make an insurance premium payment so that if they should default, the banks can still get paid. But here's the kicker. Not only are you paying the insurance so that if you default, the banks still get paid. If you default, they take possession of the house, sell the house, get paid again, and start this whole process all over. So the bank said, with that kind of deal, we are in. And eventually, this is how more and more people became homeowners when most people would rent back then. Now more people can become homeowners because what amortization does, it gives you an affordable payment, but it's a very expensive payment. So this is where amortization comes in, and some people call it front-loaded interest, meaning an average of 70 to 85% of your mortgage payment is interest, while the rest is being applied to principal. So if you are in a loan where you're paying 70% of every dollar that you are applying to your mortgage payment, that means while 70% of every dollar applied goes to principal, 30% goes, 70% goes to interest, 30% goes to principal. So while out of every dollar, if you pay $1, 70 cents of that dollar is interest, while 30 cents of the dollar goes on your loan. That's why it takes so long to pay off debt, while banking continues to make phenomenal money. This is what's going on. So let's go to the next slide. There have been essentially no changes to benefit consumers in 85 years. Until today, until recently, when the P.I.L.L method came along to start teaching individuals how this all happens and how you don't have to pay all that interest anymore. So during this presentation today, we're going to be able to answer 3 questions. So when you pull all this information together, I hope you're taking notes. We'll be able to answer the question, is it possible your lender could have revealed this same information I'm revealing? Could your lender have revealed it to you? Is it possible that the bank owners that know all of this information, is it possible they could have passed on this information to you? Number 2, did your lender pass this information on to you? And number 3, if your lender did not reveal this information to you, why didn't they do it? Oh my goodness. Let's go ahead and get started. Amortized interest is actually deceptive, meaning The interest rate you're quoted is not the interest rate you pay. The interest rate you're quoted is not the interest rate you pay. So, so we have a $500,000 mortgage here for 30 years, and the pay is at 3% interest, and the payment is $2,108.02. That's the principal and interest payment. The total interest paid on this loan will be $258,887.20. Folks, does that look like 3% to you? Absolutely not. I'm not a math major. I never was a math major. Math is not my strong suit. Because of my Asperger's, when I take a look at an amortization schedule, I see the patterns, and that's how I'm able to share this information with you today. So total repayment is going to be $758,887.20. So the total cost of buying this particular home is not $500,000. It's $500,000 for the home, $258,887 for the interest, for a total of $758,887. That is the total purchase price of this home, but it's in a $500,000 neighborhood. So, is it possible to recoup all of what you paid? That's going to be very difficult. So, let's take a look now at what it means to have this kind of interest. What does it mean that the total interest paid as a percentage of principal is actually 51.777%? Not 3%, 51.77%. So if you borrow $1 from me and I say pay me $1.51 back, pay me $1.51 back, you're going to say, oh, that's 51% interest. I don't want to pay that. Is that what's happening here? You borrow a certain amount of money and you pay back 51% of what you borrowed. Add that to it. Isn't that the same thing? So let's take a look at this. 4% really means that you're going to pay back 71% of what you borrowed. 5% means that you're going to pay back 93% of what you borrowed. 6% means that the total amount is going to be 115.838%, and 7% means that you're going to pay back 139.509% of what you borrowed. You've got to wonder, how is this legal? It definitely is legal, but is it moral? So let's take a look at another scenario here. $300,000 borrowed at 4.25%. And with that being said, the principal amount paid in the first month on this loan, out of the $1,062.50, is $413.32. That's the amount that goes to principal on the first payment. Total interest for the first year on this mortgage is $12,652.24. In the first 10 years on this loan, that means we're going to pay in interest alone $115,428.11. That's an average of $962 in interest a month for the first 10 years. And in 10 years total, the amount of principal paid down is $61,670.29. So when you add the two together, the amount of principal paid and the amount of interest paid, that comes to $177,098.40 paid out, so that we can receive $61,670 in benefit. Folks, is that how you want to spend your money? Man, that seems excessive. Well, it is. Again, if you want to know more about how this all works, then text TPM to 36260 and get more information. You can also call our phone number 256-886-1867. You can email me, or you can go to our website and request a free savings report so that you can know how you can get out of debt in an average of 7 to 9 years without sacrificing lifestyle. I mean, we're going to use your current budget and show you how to optimize interest savings so you can get out of debt faster. It's a better way of getting out of debt, better than the debt snowball, better than the avalanche method. This is called interest cancellation, and our opportunity cost calculator will do all of the work for you and then give you specific instructions based on up-to-the-date information which you feed into the computer, and it will give you exactly what to do. All right? So let's take a look at how we're going to, I'm going to skip some slides here, and we're going to go right to a part of our program here where we can start going over how all of this works. Okay. You know what? I think it would be a good idea for us to go straight to an amortization schedule. And I could show you exactly what's going on here. So let me put up Brett Whistle. Let's get out of that slideshow. And let me do a new share. There we go. All right, now, if you could see this, let me see how, all right. I can make these numbers a little bit bigger. Let me do that. And there we are. Oops. There we go. All right, so we're going to put in $200,000 mortgage at 6%. So let's say this is a rental, because that's the going interest rate right about now for rentals. Okay, and we're going to calculate $200,000 at 6% gives us a payment of $1199.10. So this is when you're going to need your calculators. All right, are you ready? All right, pull out your calculators now. So we're going to go over why this is so expensive. So let's scroll over here so that we can get the whole thing on our screen. All right, so as you can see here, we have on our very first payment, $199.10 goes to principal, $1,000 goes to interest. And remember, our interest rate is 6%. How in the world are we getting all of this interest here in the very first year? Look at the cumulative principal and the cumulative interest for the first year. We are looking at $2,456 and a penny going to pay our principal pay down, while $11,933.19 goes to interest. So folks, I gotta ask you, should it cost $11,933.19 just to pay your mortgage down by $2,456 and a penny? Absolutely not. Let's see why it's so expensive, okay? So I'm gonna get my calculator out here, and you got your calculator out. So now here's what we're going to do. We have a 6% interest rate, and let's see how we're going to do that. We've got 6% interest rate, and you can put in 6 and then hit the percent key, or you can just type in 0.06. That is the decimal for 6%, okay? In your calculator, you're putting in 0.06. Then you're going to take that 0.06 and you're going to divide that number by 12. When you divide it by 12, you're going to get 0.005, okay? 0.005. And this will work with any loan, any interest rate. You do it in this fashion. Put in the decimal of the interest rate, divide it by 12. Once you divide it by 12, then you look at the principal balance that you have right now. After the first payment, our principal balance on a $200,000 mortgage is $199,800.90. We're going to take this number, the 0.005, and this is how the bank does it, and multiply it by the unpaid balance, all right? So let's do that, 0.005, and we're going to then multiply it by $199,800.90. And we get $999.0045, and this is what we rounded off to, $999. So I used to think somehow the bank would take the interest rate and multiply it by the whole amount that I borrowed, and somehow they would come up with this amortization schedule. Well, it's not. What they do is take 1/12 of the interest rate, and then while they're doing 1/12 of the interest rate, they will then multiply it by the unpaid balance every single month. So you don't have one mortgage. You end up with 360 separate mortgages because because the bank wants to take that unpaid balance and charge you again and again and again. So how the P.I.L.L method works is that we make sure that they only can charge you a lot fewer times by accelerating the payoff on your loan. So if you look at video number 1, we actually go over how all of that works. And so I have several videos on how to eliminate that interest. So did you see that? By taking 1/12 of the interest rate, multiplying it by the unpaid balance, that's how you get the new interest rate. This is why it is so expensive to borrow money. And that's why it takes so long to get out of debt. Now, here's the thing. This is why it is not commonly known how this works. Because if you know how it works, you know how to defeat it. The same math that makes this so expensive, if we reverse the math, we save exactly what the bank would have charged us. So if you missed our first program, let me go into here and show you how you can save some interest. So let's go in here. So we're going to take a look at the first payment. of $199.10 and $1,000, a total of $1,199.10. And then we pay that to the mortgage company. Let's say we do that in January, which means our next payment would be February. So we can actually look at amortization schedule and see February's payment. Excuse me. So as we look at February's payment of $200.10 while we're still in January, we also know that we don't have to wait till January to get that information, to apply the $200.10. We don't have to. So let's say we apply the $200.10 to the mortgage in January as well. We give the bank an additional $200.10. Then no interest is subtracted from this money because we've already paid the interest for January. Every single penny of this goes to principal, which means we're paid down to line 2 in January, $199,600.80. All right. Hi, Demetrius Curry. Demetrius is saying hi, everybody. We're going to be working together. Demetrius is fantastic at understanding how to take the interest we're saving here and turning it into fantastic wealth. So we're going to be working together. So if you come to work with the P.I.L. method and you want to know more about not only saving money but making money, Demetrius Curry and my wife Patricia Stewart working together, phenomenal team, and they're going to be able to take those interest savings and turn it into fantastic wealth for you. All right. So here's what we're looking at. So we're going to take that $200, apply it to principal. We're going to be paid down to line 2 in the first month because let's say we give that to the bank on top of our regular mortgage payment. So that means we're going to take 1/12 of the interest rate of 6%, 0.005, multiply it by, let's do that. Let's get the calculator out again and do 0.005, and we're going to multiply that by the $199,600.80. And we get a payment of $998. Look at that. This is how the bank does it. $998. So if we are now making this payment in February, then what happened to the interest cost here in January? What happened to that? You guessed it. You never have to pay it. You just saved $999 in interest. That is phenomenal. And this is why the banks really are making sure that this information does not get out, because the same way they're charging interest at the same rate, you can save just as much interest by changing the timing. I talk about this in my new book. Please go to Amazon right now and order this book, and make sure that you order several copies, give them out at Christmas time, do whatever you have to do. Don't even wait for Black Friday. Have them ready and give them out at Thanksgiving dinner. I'm telling you, people will love you for this information, that they don't have to pay this kind of interest anymore. So get the book, share it, let everybody know about it, that they don't have to do this. Now, I also talked to you about, there's a point at which, now that you know that you can pay extra on the mortgage and know what it actually does for the first time, I get the question all the time, Don, why don't we just pull all the money we have together, let's throw it at the mortgage, and let's cut out all that interest. I'm going to show you what happens when we violate the law of diminished return. You don't want, if you have a certain amount of money available to you, you do not want to pay too much, and you don't want to pay too little. Let me show you some things here. So if we already know by paying, giving the bank an extra sum, we can save a phenomenal amount of interest, let's just play a little game here. We're going to take a look at line 12, and we're going to take a look at line 24. And let's pretend you have plenty of money in the bank, okay? You got plenty of money in the bank, and we know that we can prepay principal. And if you were to prepay the $2,456 and a penny, that's all of the interest payments added up. You know, this is $2,456. You do not have to pay this to the bank in 12 monthly installments. If you had it, you could give it to the bank all at one time on line 1, be paid down to line 12 in just 1 month. And if that's the case, what would happen to all the interest between line 2 and line 12? That's right. You just eliminated all of that interest and knocked out 11 mortgage payments you never have to pay by giving the bank a lump sum and saving time and saving interest. So let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at line 12 and line 24, and let's play a little game. So I want you to take a look at this. And I said, you have plenty of money in the bank, let's pretend, and I'm going to ask you a question. You have the option of prepaying line 12 and saving this amount, or you have the option of paying line 24 and saving this amount. Which would you choose? If you have plenty of money and we only gave you 2 choices, line 12 or line 24, which would you choose? Now, I've done this so many times with my clients. I know most of them say, I would choose line 24. And I said, well, why? And I said, because we get to save all of this interest and knock out 24 payments. I said, okay, let's take a look at what's really going on here. Amortization changes everything. You can't use the same type of thinking in other math problems as you do when it comes to amortized loans. Everything is turned upside down. Let me show you what we mean. So I'm going to tell a little story, and here's the story. My wife likes to make zucchini bread, and when she does, she puts golden raisins in the zucchini bread. And when she puts the golden raisins in, she puts it in there because I like them. And I think it makes it taste better. So anyway, she puts the golden raisins in, and that's the zucchini bread just sets it off. So one Sunday she's cooking stuff up, mixing stuff up, and warming up the oven, and then she goes into the pantry to look, and guess what? No golden raisins. So who gets to go to the store? You guessed it, me. So on the way out the door, she says, by the way, why don't you bring back 2 boxes? I said, okay, I'll go to the store and bring back 2 boxes of golden raisins. So when I get there, I find out that the raisins come in 2 different size boxes, a 12-ounce box and an 18-ounce box. And they're 2 different prices. And I've got to get 2 boxes. But I don't just want to get 2 boxes. I want to get the best value I can. How can I tell which box is giving me the best value? And lo and behold, somebody says, look at that little sticker on the shelf, and it tells you how much the raisins cost per ounce. So I know which box to get because I want to get the raisins that cost the least amount per ounce. And so I get 2 boxes of those raisins. Doesn't that make sense? So let me ask you this. If it's the same brand, the same kind of raisins, is there any reason to pay 6 cents an ounce when I could get them for 3 cents an ounce? Is there any reason at all to pay 6 cents an ounce for raisins when I can get them for 3? Everybody is saying absolutely not. If you can get them for 3, why pay double? So here's what we're talking about, folks. So what we can do is, if we are getting the benefit of this savings and we get it by paying this amount, we can then figure out how much interest we're saving per dollar. If we take the $11,933.19 and divide it by the principal payment of $2,456.11. So let's pull out our calculators and do that. Let's put it in here. We've got 11,933.19. And we're going to divide it by, boom, 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 divide it by $2,456 and a penny. And we get, we're going to take it 3 places past the decimal, we get 4.858. I'm writing that down, 4.858. That's $4.85, and that would get rounded up to $4.86. That is a great return on your money. What do we just find out? For every dollar applied on line 12, we would save $4.85, almost $4.86. Every dollar applied, $4.86 back. I mean, that's better than the stock market. Oh my gosh. 4 or almost 5 to 1? You got to be kidding me. That's a good place to put your money. Yeah. If more people knew that, would it be easier to walk by the big screen TVs in Costco if you knew that this kind of money would save you $11,933 in interest? This is why some people don't want you to know this. And now that you know, you can spend your money more wisely. Now, let's take a look at line 24. Let's do the same thing. Now, I know some of you are already ahead of me. You've already done it. You've already put in the $23,714.90 and divided it by $5,063.50 equals 4.683. 4.683. $4.68 per dollar applied, as opposed to $4.86. So you're actually finding out that by putting more money on, you're getting a lesser bang for your buck. For every dollar applied, you're only saving $4.68 instead of $4.85. That's why it's so important. When we figure out for you how much money you have available now and how much money you're going to have in the short run, maybe in a week or two, the program can then figure out when is it best to apply the money that you have available so that you can get the biggest bang for your buck. Because if you put too much on, you will actually save less money per dollar and actually hurt yourself. You're violating the law of diminished return. Now, I've got just a couple of minutes left here. So we're going to go over to our program, okay? The P.I.L.L method, opportunity cost calculator. And we're going to take a look at this same scenario in the program itself. Let me see here. We're going to update it here. And all right, let me go over here. And okay. So let me go to a different screen and then pull it back up for us. And I'm getting it ready. I think you're going to like this. It's going to point out why we do what we do. Okay, getting it ready. All right, here we go. And resume. And let me see here. All right, we're getting some likes. We're getting some likes. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at this. All right, you should be able to see here where John and Rebecca Jones, this is their situation. Put this up out of the way. Okay, and here's what we have in our accounts tab. John and Rebecca Jones have $500 in checking. They've got $5,000 in savings. They have $25,000 auto loan at 4%. They have $2,000 on their Visa at 21%, and they have that same $200,000 mortgage at 6%. Payment is $1199.10. All right, but the program has already figured out that if they follow the program, they can save $179,395.62 in interest they don't have to pay. Therefore, they could be out of debt in 7.7 years from today. And here's their payoff date, May 20, 2027. Pay off all of this debt in 7.7 years because they're saving $179,395.62. Let's go back to the action plan. The action plan tab is where we put in all of your income and all of your expenses. And as we do this, as we tell the program how much we're paying or how much we're receiving, then the program can give us recommendations. So John gets paid here. We're starting out in September. John gets paid $950. When he gets paid $950 on September 1st, he just hits execute to tell the program he got paid $950. And then when he does, it disappears from the screen. We go over to accounts and we see that it is added to his virtual checking account, which matches what he has in the checking account at his bank. Penny for penny, dollar for dollar, $1,450. So because he has that amount in his checking account now, he can now afford to pay his mortgage and then pay his utilities. And then by that time, Rebecca gets a paycheck. And if we just tell the program how much money we are receiving and how much money we are paying out, the program learns our spending habits and then begins to make recommendations. Wherever you see these little red arrows, that's the program talking to you saying you need to do something. And we read it from left to right. On the 5th of this month, on the 5th of September, the bank says, the program says take money from the checking account and move it to the savings account, $100.90. That's what that means. Okay? And then we pay the phone bill, we pay, Rebecca gets another paycheck on the 12th, and then the program says put $388.72 in savings. Now, during this month of September, all we're doing is putting money in savings. We're not applying any extra money to debt in September. I get the question all the time, why? Why is the program waiting? Well, I'm going to change this window from the payoff date to next debt transfer. Do you see that? Next debt transfer. So we click on that, and the program will tell us what is the next date we will be applying money to principal. And as we can see, 2 months from now, in 11/7/2019, we started out in September. So the program says if we keep the same spending pace, we should have $3,119.80 That's monies that are left over from paying the bills, money's left over from making minimum payments on the loans, money left over from putting money in savings, and money left over from our fund budget, our uh, our lifestyle budget. So we don't want people to know that they can live an enhanced lifestyle. We put lifestyle in first. And then any monies that are left over, that's what the program uses to get out of debt. So this is the money that should be left over, and this is the right amount at the right time to apply. So now that is the macro money. That's what we call macro money. We can kind of plug that in and say, if these are my expenses, this is my income, I should have $3,119.80 to use by this time. So let's take a look at the micro money, because that's what I really like. This is what's really exciting. So when we can take, let's say that the Huntsville utilities, that's where I live, Huntsville, Alabama, is usually $200. But this month it's been kind of mild for the most part. And let's say that our bill is not $200 this month. Our bill is less than that. So let's put this in here and see how we can get it to calculate for us. And for some reason, wouldn't you know it, live on Facebook, the internet wants to slow down. Can't do that. So let's try it again. Execute. There it is. So now we have $200 going to utilities, but this month utilities is not $200. Let's say it's only $150, which means that we are $50 under budget. Now, we don't have to think about it. The program says, don't bother thinking about it. You already have a fund budget. So if you have $50 left over from the utility budget, the program says, let's put that in savings. So we put that in savings. And by the time we get down to 11.7, the amount that we're going to be putting on debt has increased by $50. And the amount of interest that we have that we can save will also increase. This is how we know small amounts of money are very, very powerful, because the more interest you save, the faster you get out of debt. Okay? So now let's pretend we're going all the way down through September and October, and we get down into October, and guess what? We're still putting money away in savings, putting money away in savings, and putting money away in savings. And even in October, we're paying minimum payments on everything. So we did it in September. We're paying the minimums on the debt in September and in October, and we're putting away this money into our savings account. But once we get down to November, things change. Look at 11.7. Now we get different instructions where we're taking money from the savings account and moving it to the Visa, and we're going to pay that Visa off to zero in 2 months. Why? Because the money was sitting in savings, and we're going to knock that Visa out. And when we do, the program is going to give us some special information that no other program on the planet is going to give you. We know by doing this, we're going to save $1,736.34 in interest we no longer have to pay because we paid the Visa off. If we had paid minimum payment until we paid $2,000, we would have also given Visa $1,736.34. But because we paid them off in this lump sum, out of savings and not out of our regular budget, we have saved $1,736 of future interest we don't have to pay. That means you can use that money for something else. All right? So now, let's scroll back down into September and take a look at the mortgage. Here's what's interesting. The mortgage is due on the 1st, and John and Rebecca Jones pay their mortgage on the 1st. But the program says, wait 6 days, and then apply money from savings to the mortgage of $1,166.98. Such an odd number. Why not just round that thing up to the next dollar? Or why not just round it up to $1,200? Because this is an optimized number paid at the right time in the right amount so that we don't violate the law of diminished return. Watch this. So we're going to go into the program and tell the program we want to save, we want to apply that money to principal. And when we do, some fantastic things are going to happen. So we go here, click on this, click execute, and then the program calculates for us how much interest by putting $1,166.98 on the principal. Oh, look here. We get to save $5,675.26 in interest we never have to pay the bank for $1,166.98. But we have pretty close to $5,000 in savings, but the program says only pay this. Why? Why not pay more? Well, let's tell the program, I want to pay $1,500 instead of what it's suggesting. Okay? And the program will instantly recalculate our interest savings and it jumps up to $7,259.77. That would make me very happy to save that kind of interest. But wait, what we want to focus on is overall interest savings of $179,424.34 if we follow the program. Well, if I already have the money, why am I waiting 6 days? I have $1,500. I have it in the bank. I'm not going to wait till the 7th. I'm going to pay it on the 1st. Oh, look here. I don't know how I timed out here. Let me get back in. Sorry about that. So let me move this and we're going to log back in. Hold on. Sorry, hit the wrong button. And here we go. Get back in. Okay, and log back in. There we go. And resume share. Okay, there we are. All right, so here's what's happening. We are back here telling the program, I want to put 1166.98. Nah, we don't want to save 5,675.26, even though that's a phenomenal number. Most people are totally unaware of how much interest they can save by prepaying. Let's change this to $1,500. Just like that. Okay? $1,500. Now we can save $7,259.77. Oh, so what's happening here? We don't want to wait because we have the money in the bank already. Let's change it to the 1st. So we're paying more and we're paying sooner. We should be able to get a better result. Let's watch our $179,424.34. This is the optimized savings that artificial intelligence has told us that this is the maximum amount of money we can save right now with what's going on in our financial life. So watch this number, $179,424.34. We're going to watch the last 5 numbers, the 424.34, doing what we want to do instead of what the program says we should do. We're going to execute that. Watch the 424, and it becomes what? $179,389.48. If we don't do what is optimal in our finances, we lose money on a daily basis. we could end up paying not only tens of dollars, hundreds of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars more in interest than we need to. This is why it takes 30 years or more to get out of debt when we're not optimizing, instead of the 7.7 years to pay off these 3 loans. Folks, this is phenomenal information. If you want to have a free savings report, you can have it. Go to the website, and let me put that back up on the screen while we're looking at that. So we're going to go to the website and put that on the screen here, like that. All right, and new share. And as we close things out for today, there we are, and share. As we close things out for today, you have learned today how the bank charges all of that interest when we could save that money. You've also learned what happens when you put too much money on at the wrong time. Your interest savings start to go back the other way, and the more interest you pay, the longer you stay in debt. We've got more scenarios for you next week, and you're going to like exactly what you see. But if you want to get your own free savings report, give us a call, email us, go to the website, and make a request to get a free savings report. Listen, this has been Finance Fridays. This is our 4th episode. I love being with you today. I'm looking forward to being with you again next week.